So now we are going to implement the certifications. So basically this is a certification UI, guys. So we'll be having a certifications page, certification schedules page. If you have any certification you have scheduled for future, those will be listed here. Next, certification events. So certification events page will be providing the information for the event-based certifications, like any targeted certifications that you have created. So those will be listed out in this particular place. And the right hand side, you have this new certification, right? So under this, we have different types of certifications that we can just create it. So this is a thing. So as a recap of the certifications, right? Certifications is a periodic access review that we'll be performing every what do you say, every monthly basis or every quarterly basis or annually basis. We'll be performing some review on each and every identity in the organization. Okay, that is excuse me. So that is meant by the certification. So let's start creating one certifications here. So we'll start with the application owner certification. So I just clicked on new certification and application owner. So as I told you, right, in every certification, you will be having these 5 steps or 5 sections that you need to fill in the data. So the first section contains the basic. So basic contains the defining the certification. So what is the name of the certification that you want to give it? That will be presented here. So application owner certification, right? So you can see this is the name of the certification, whatever the name that you wanted, you can just give it over here and followed by the full date. So what is this dollar full date?
Execution date.
I'm sorry.
The time it should execute.
Right. It will be printing the entire timestamp. Okay. So exactly when it got executed along with the date, time, and the complete year, like you can say. So entire timestamp of when the certification has been created, that will be printed. So here, whatever the name that you want, we can just give it. So I'm just giving a name like test application owner certification like that. And certification owner, I'm leaving it like an administrator only. Applications. So either you can select an individual application or all applications also you can select it. For now, I'm selecting some 2 applications. I'm selecting the Prism application and I'm selecting a track application. Next, you have when to certify. So execution frequency, you have it, run now and start. You have these details, right? So when to certify, execution frequency once, run now, you can just enable it. So execution frequency means like when do you want to execute it? Hourly, monthly, weekly, like that. And if you don't enable run now button, these options will be enabled. Like when do you want to start? Okay, you can schedule the certification. I told you, right? So you can just enable that start date exactly, and then only the certification gets started. But if you want to run it right away, you can just click on this run now button. When you click on run now button, these options will be grayed out. Okay, we cannot select any option over here like this. That is the intention. Next, what do we have? Included access, entitlements, and accounts. So include additional entitlements, include roles, certify accounts with no entitlements. So if you could see here, if you select entitlements, we have these kind of a filter options. Whereas if we select an account, we don't have any filter options. Irrespective of their nature, all the accounts will be coming into the or bought into the certification. But if we select entitlements, we can have some filter conditions. We don't need to certify the accounts having no entitlements. So like that we can choose. So I'm just going with an entitlements selection only. And next include policy violations. For this particular certification, I also want to include the policy violations. Enable that. Next tax. So what is meant by this tax? So tags means like the naming convention that you will be putting in. If you want to tag this particular what do you say, certification to another certification name that you want to put it, so you can just add it. For now, I'm not adding any tags. It's completely optional. Next, coming to the life cycle. So in the life cycle section, you will be having the phases. You remember in the previous session, I explained about the phases, right? Active phase, challenge phase, remediation phase, so staging phase. These are kind of the phases. So for this certification, I am enabling the staging period, and also I am enabling the challenge period also. So if I enable the challenge period, you can see the challenge period duration for 1 week. Okay. So remember this term. Next, what do we have? I'm only enabling these two things. Rest all things are defaultly enabled. Next, notifications. So notifications also defaultly a certification notification is being enabled. Okay. So initial notification template, this is a certification, right? So you can just put it this here, and email templates, this one is also being there. So default templates are already being selected. If you want to make any modifications to those templates, you can just go to the debug page, open the email template section, search for these email templates and make your modifications. But for now, I'm leaving with the default configurations only. And if you want to send any reminders, escalations, you can enable these options. So when do you want to send the reminders? When do you want to set the expiration, like when it needs to be expired? So these all information, if you want to update it, you can edit it. Next, we have behavior. So behavior contains some global configurations. Either you can just modify it or you can like leave it for the default configuration only. Like for example, we can select this electronic signature. In the next certification, I'll be creating an electronic signature, and then I'll be selecting that electronic signature. As of now, nothing is being created. Same case. So there will be some cases like require comments for approval. Every time a manager is approving, he need to mandatorily put a comment. If you don't put a comment, it will not be getting submitted. So like that, things also will be going in. So I'm just leaving with the default configurations right now. Finally, advanced section. So in the advanced section, you will be able to write the rules. Okay. So these you can see exclusion rule, pre-delegation rule, sign off approval rule. So these are the rules that you can just write it. So in the next certification, I'll be creating an exclusion. So this is it. So let me just click on schedule certification. Let me just check this whether the run now button is enabled. This is it. So just click on schedule certification. So see the name of the certification along with the timestamp exactly. See the currently the certification is in staging phase. Okay, because we enabled the staging period, right? Hence the status is in staged. So open that. And next, you can just scroll down. You can see all the certification information on the UI screen itself. So open R11, open R48, you can see. So these are the entitlements and these are the policy violations which are open in state. Now, scroll down, open any certification. Certifier is Walter Henderson. So who is Walter Henderson? Owner of that Prism application. See, we are not able to click on anything like approve, revoke buttons are completely grayed out. Why? Because the certification is in staging phase. It's just for your preview kind of thing. You can just see whether all the certification contents have been set properly or not. So now to start certification or to trigger the certification, what we'll be doing it, we'll be clicking on activate certification button over here. Okay, so click on it and the certification will be activated like this. Okay, so you can just open it. Scroll down. It's in active phase now. Now you can open it. And you can perform your certification. For example, I want to approve it. Click on approve. Revoke it. I can revoke it. So either you can take individual decisions or else you can just select it over here. Select everything. Bulk decisions. approve or revoke. Like this also you can just do it. So for now, what I'll do, I'll just approve everything. Click on save decisions. And you can see here the sign off decisions is in blue color. If I click on sign off decision, the sign off will be completed. But instead, one of the entitlement, I'm going to revoke it. So click on this box, click on revoke. Again, save the decisions. Now you can see the sign off decisions is in red color. If I click on sign off decisions, see what it will show. See, after the challenge period expires, you can sign off this access. What was the challenge period? So it was like 1 week duration, right? So that duration it will be showing you. So once that duration is being ended, then only you will be able to complete it. Meanwhile, this request will be sent to that particular employee or the user whom we have revoked the access. So he can put the challenge request, like he can put some comments to the manager saying this access is required for so and so purpose. Please do not remove the access. So then if the manager sees that particular challenge request, he can just go back and approve the request. If he feels that business justification is a valid one, he'll be approving it and saving the decision. And then we can click on sign off decisions. It will be completed. If all the things are completed, we can complete it. Yeah. So like this, we can complete the certification. See, it is now 100% done. So this is how the certification will be created. So let's create one more certification now.
Yeah, I have one question, Shashank.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So in the certification, right? So you're doing schedule certification and then activate certification, right? So there are two options we have, right? So run immediately, and then the next one is like we are scheduling a specific date or something, right?
Yes.
So when I check the run immediate one, right? And then if I do the one which you did, schedule certification, and then activate certification, it will start immediately, right?
Right.
So if I don't do the run immediate one and then I just schedule some other date, right? So I can just schedule and then click on activate, and then it will run according to that date. Is that correct?
No. It will be going to a staging phase only in that particular date. It will not be immediately created. Let me just create one certification for you and show you. So, for example, so we can reuse the certification also. So just right click on the certification, use certification as a template like that, and just give the names. So some like a test one, I'm putting it here. So instead of selecting, I'm selecting this run now button, or else I will not select this one. So I'm putting it like May next month, okay? And what else? Staging here, right? This will be enabled anyhow. Yeah. So just click on schedule certification now. So this will be there in the certification schedules, and as of now it's showing nothing, right? So on that particular day, on 15th of May or 14th of May, whatever we have given the timestamp, so at that time particularly the certification will be going to staging phase. Like the certification will come over here and the status will be a staged. So we would be opening that certification. We will be changing it to activate, like clicking on the activate certificate. Then the certification will be activated. Activated means all the reviewers will be receiving the notification saying the certification has been successfully created. So they need to take the next action items on it.
But we have to do manually that clicking that activate certification.
Right. Why? Because this is staging phase. Generally, in your real time or in your production, we don't put that staging phase enabled. In the real time, if you schedule it directly, we'll be making it like we don't select that checkbox itself, the staging checkbox. That is only for our consideration. We'll be enabling the staging phase to make sure the certification that we have configured properly or not. But in the real time, we don't enable the staging period directly. The certification gets activated, and on that scheduled time, all the reviewers will be receiving a notification.
Okay. Got it.
Right.
And also, so during that activate, so we have activated the certification, okay,
Correct.
and then we have that the challenging phase like 1 week, okay. In the middle, what if there is a change in the owner for that application? So how this will handle?
No, if you have scheduled the certification and during that particular time the certification is still in active phase, so we learned in the previous session like delegation and forwarding the certification, right? We can just forward this certification. The owner, the particular owner who is taking care of the certification, they can forward the certification to some other person.
Okay.
That is the possible way. If like if there is a owner change happens like that, but automatically Sailpoint may not detect it once the certification is created. But before the certification is being launched, if you just make the changes, that will be applicable for the new owner. But once after certification is scheduled during that particular time, it will not be changed. The
Okay.
owner will remain the same, though you change it also.
So in that case, it will not be certified, right?
No, no, it will be certified, but the person should be there, because if the person is not being there in the organization at all, then it will be not certified. Like it will be directly showing like nothing to certify.
So that will be displayed here, like when there is no
Yes,
owner,
I'll
like
show you
how do
now
we
in another
know?
certification. I'll be showing
Okay.
you now. So like how the nothing to certify will be displaying.
Okay, got it. And also I saw something called like when making decision, right? So there is one approve and then another one is revoke. And there
Correct.
is another one as undo decision, right? Say
Mhm.
for example, the owner say if I accidentally revoke, right? So the email will go to that particular user or employee, right?
Mhm.
And immediately when he the owner does undo decision, so will there be any email sent out or what will be the action?
No, it will not be sent out immediately. For that action item, it will not be sent out. Just you will be undoing the decision, and if you click on again approve it, then an
Okay.
approval will be sent to the mail. And also,
Okay.
like whenever you click on the revoke and approve, immediately the mails won't be sent. So once after you do a sign off, if you enable the
Okay.
challenge period, then only the challenge period email will be sent. But for example, now I'm just going to create one more certification where I'll not enable the challenge period. So the end user will be receiving the notification when the certification sign off is being completed. You're getting my point.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the decision
Okay.
is being made, and post that if I click on sign off, after the sign off only the end user will be receiving the email saying your access has been revoked or your access has been retained as it is. Like
Okay. Okay. And also SailPoint, like, is there any number of certifications it can handle, or it can handle like, say for an example, an application has like 200K or 300K total. I'm talking about like total
Mhm.
count, including like employees or vendors or third-party contractors, all including, right? So how many, any limitations SailPoint has?
I'm not sure as of now. Like we haven't seen any kind of a limitation in
Mhm.
my experience also, but I don't think so. There is a certain limitation for certification because I haven't heard about the limitations
Oh,
in certifications basically.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. If it
Yeah,
was
thanks.
there, I
Yeah.
would have definitely told, but there was no limitation, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So the next certification, I'm just creating like a manager certification now. So in the manager certification, we will not enable the staging period nor the challenge period also. So I'm just giving a name like manager certification test. So now I'm going to certify all the managers irrespective like of their nature. So if you want to select one manager also, you can just select it like for example, like Catherine Simmons for that. One moment, it got stuck. Yeah. Click on this one now. Scroll down. These are the entitlements and the policy violations will be defaultly selected for a manager certification. Life cycle, I'm not enabling the staging period nor the challenge period now. Notifications, I'm leaving it as it is. Behavior, I'm leaving it as it is. And in the advanced section, I'm going to write an exclusion rule over here. So open the editor. So let me just take a rule over here. It's there. Let me just open it. Notification exclusion rule. So this is it. Let me take it. Done. So rule name, I'm just doing like exclusion rule. Okay. So what is the intention of this particular rule? You can just see here. I am putting two conditions: if identity is in active state, and also else if identity is in like the status is equal to contractor. So in these two cases, we will write items. So items are like the certification items that we have it in Sailpoint, and that items we are just putting under the method called as this items to exclude. Okay, you can see items to exclude dot add all items. So what it will happen is all the items that we wanted to exclude from being certified, so those I am just putting it here. So remaining I am just leaving it for certification. So I'm just saving it for now. And select the rule and schedule the certification. It will be directly activated now. It's in activated phase now. Open it. These are the certification contents. You have these data, right? Now, if you open any kind of a certification, for example, I'm opening this Debra word. So we have important open section, right? So important contains the policy violations. You remember, right? So you can just click on allow. If you want to type any comment, you can type it, but it's a completely optional field. If you want to revoke it, any one of the entitlement, you can revoke it like this. Done. And next we have the certification items. So I can approve everything, or else I can revoke one certification also, and just click on save decisions. All the 11 decisions, you can just sign off it immediately because we don't have any challenge with it. So whatever the decision that I make it, it's fine. So that is the intention. See, the certification has been completed. 100% for Debra. The status is still showing as active. In the previous session, I told you, right, we will be running a perform maintenance task. So once we run the perform maintenance task, the certification will be going to complete. So that's how the certification items will be going there. So though there were very less managers for certification, why? Because we have enabled the exclusion rule. Because like all the contractors are not been involved now because we already set a condition like status equal to contractor. Only employee data is being visible to us, and in that also people whoever are active, only those data is being captured. Others the data is being captured. So that is the intention of having this information. Next, let's go with another certification. So now we are going to learn about the entitlement owner certification. So click on your certification, entitlement owner. So there's a tricky part for the entitlement owner. So let me just show you what it is. So instead of selecting one single application, I'm just giving some name here first, or else you can leave it like entitlement owner certification only. Scroll down a bit. I'm selecting the applications, all the applications I'm going to select. Next, scroll down, select the run now option. And next, just click on schedule certification. Nothing much that we are configuring. Click on schedule certification. So you'll be seeing some details like nothing to certify. So though we have selected all the applications also, it's showing like nothing to certify for an entitlement owner certification. So what could be the reason for this?
There's no owner.
Right. So no owner for the entitlements, correct? If you just go ahead to identities and applications and entitlement catalog. So in our entitlements, not even a single entitlement in our project has a owner. You can see owner column is empty. So since the owners are empty, like there is no owner for any entitlement that we have said. If though we select all the applications also, it will directly say nothing to certify. So that is the concept. So now we can just add some owners to any entitlement. For example, super entitlement, I'm going to add a owner. So I selected a super entitlement and now scroll down and you can see an owner details over here. So select the drop down, add any owner. So for example, I'm adding an owner called Adam Kennedy and I'm saving it. One more entitlement I'm just taking like approve. So for this approve also, I'm just adding some owner. Some Alan Bradley, I'm just taking in, save it. Now go to certifications, recreate that certification. So where it is like it's completed. I'm just using this certification as a template. Yes, I'm just giving a name, test one like that. And already the applications are selected. Let's configure electronic signature also and then create a certification. So for now, go to the settings, global settings, electronic signatures. Click on add new meaning. Give a name. Signature. And you can give a meaning here like just a description. Please enter the password to proceed, sign off like that. You can put like this and save it. Now go ahead to the certification. I'm getting some name. Next, this is all applications already being selected. Under the behavior, select electronic signature. Select the signature and schedule the certification. Okay, it is been scheduled, I believe. I haven't enabled the run now button. Scroll down, click on run now and select. It's in active phase now. This is it. You can just open any certification type and you can complete. I'm approving everything. Just click on save decisions. So when I click on the sign off decision, you will be getting a window. See, please enter your password to proceed with sign off. So like this, you need to enter your password. So until and unless I enter the password correctly, you will not be able to complete the certification. So that is the intention of having this electronic signature in Sailpoint. So that's how you will be completing that particular certification item at Sailpoint. So this is how the entitlement owner certificate. See, these are the owners that we set it, right? Adam Kennedy and Alan Bright. So for which entitlement that we selected, those have been populated over here. Next, we have the advanced certification. So advanced certification, I'm just giving you as a homework, guys. So in the exercise document which you have, it contains the advanced certification. So you can just open that, follow the steps present in that. So the only thing is like you will be certifying the group of people or populated people. The naming convention will be different in the what do you say exercise, but whatever the names that you have given for the groups and population, you can just use them and create a certification certifying only those group of people or those populated people in Sailpoint. So the next topic that we will be discussing here is like a risk scoring. Okay, so it's a very small topic, guys, and also very optional also, you can say. In my entire career, we haven't in any project we haven't implemented a risk model yet. Okay, so that's how the optional case the risk model will be there. Okay, so risk model generally deals with the numerical value. So we'll be discussing about risk scoring overview, risk scoring configuration, and monitoring the risk in Sailpoint. So risk scoring. So what is risk? What is risk scoring? Why risk score? Identity IQ provides the two types of risk scoring. So basically, what is meant by a risk? So generally, the dictionary point of view, you can understand it. The possibility that something unwanted or negative will occur. So that is basically a risk. So now risk scoring in Sailpoint is we are giving some numerical values to each and every identity and each and every application in the organization to differentiate them from different profiles like low risk profile, medium risk profile, and high risk profile people. So like that, we are differentiating them. So that is the intention of having a risk score. And as I told, we have two types of risk scoring. One is identity risk scoring, other one is a application risk scoring. And without you perform the risk scoring, all the identities will be scrutinized. Next, once after you apply the risk scoring, basically they will be divided, like differentiating the users into different categories, different profiles, like low risk profile, medium risk profile, and high risk profile. So low risk profile basically deals with like people whoever risk score is below 300. So those people will be considered under low risk profile. Medium risk profile, the range between 301 to 600, and high risk profile greater than 600. So like this, the risk profiles that will be set up. And also the color coding, by observing the color coding also you can just justify. So like green color indicates the low risk profile, yellow color indicates medium risk profile people, and red color indicates high risk profile. So the same color coding you will be observing in the UI of Sailpoint. So identity risk model and application risk model. Coming to the identity risk scoring. So directly a straightforward configurations, and this is the only one object in Sailpoint where you won't be getting any kind of a rule snippets. You don't need to write any kind of a rules, no customizations that could be made over here. So if you are configuring an identity risk scoring, or if you are making a changes for an identity risk scoring, then you can just like you will be configuring based upon the roles, entitlements, violations, certification, age. So these are the primary criteria that we will be considering when you are certifying the, sorry, when you are giving a risk score to an identities. So you have these two options, baseline access risk, composite scoring. So in the baseline access risk, you will be giving the like basic configurations like role baseline access risk, entitlement baseline access risk, and policy violation baseline access risk. Okay, those details you will be filling in, and you will be scheduling the what do you say, triggering the risk model, the risk scores. Next, composite scoring. So in the composite scoring, like in the baseline access risk also, you will be selecting that particular object or value, give some random values with random number. Generally, your client will be giving you a numbers, whatever that you need to put initially. Post that, it will be increased. So this is the composite scoring. So in the composite scoring, you will be giving some weightages. So to which component that you, how much weightage that you want to give it. For example, defaultly it will be giving you like an equal percentage for all the core objects. But if you want to increase or decrease the percentage, you can just give it based upon that weightage only. The calculations will be happening. Same case with application risk score. So application risk score also you will be having two options like component scores and composite scores here. So these will be depending upon the accounts basically. So you have this service account, inactive account, privileged account, dormant account. So such kind of an account, whatever the account that we have it in Sailpoint. So those weightages that you can give some numbers to it, and based upon those numbers, your calculations will be happened in the backend, and in numerical value will be assigned to every application. So if you see, this is the kind of a formula or algorithm that Sailpoint considers. For example, you have configured an risk score like a service account, risky account, and violator account. You have it. Rest all the accounts you kept it as 0 as the value. So risk application risk score equal to service component score into service composite percentage plus risky component score into risky composite percentage plus violator component score into violator composite percentage. So this is how the backend formula goes like. But if we calculate it manually, we may not get the exact result. Why? Because some formulas in the backend algorithm Sailpoint follows to trigger this number. So once after you create the risk scores, the configuration is being completed. Post that, you will be enabling, you will be running the task. Okay. For identity risk scores, we have a refresh identity, refresh risk scores task. For application risk scores, we have a refresh application scores task. Once you run these two tasks, then only in the backend the calculations will happen, and the identities and applications will be applied with the risk scores. So this is of one of the identity with a risk score 838. By looking at color coding also, you can say it's in red color. It's like high risk profile. Next, same way application risk also, it's 243, which means low risk profile. And all these risk scores, you can just check it out under one place, under one roof, under the intelligence, you can see identity risk scores and application risk scores like this, and you can get the data. So this is the risk scores that is being given to a particular role, and you can whenever any role you have requested, the role risk score will be getting added to your existing number. And if you want to search for any identities based upon the risk scores, you have this advanced analytics. with which you can just search the data. Next to risk scoring reporting. So just like the policies and certifications, we have some reports for risk scores as well. Like we have 3 reports and we can just trigger them to capture the data for auditing. So we have that exercise to complete the section 2, the last exercise, that is an optional exercise that I just kept it. If you have time, you can just do it, or else you can ignore it also. It won't be in the real time also. It's not really important. You can consider if people who wanted to do the Sailpoint certification exam, you want to write the Sailpoint certification exam. The first certification is the engineer certification. So in that also you won't be having this risk model as a syllabus. Okay, you can remember that. Next. So let's open the Sailpoint UI and start with practicals. So identity risk model. So I'll be just giving some random numbers. So roles, we don't have it, right? Hence role-based access risk. I'm not selecting anything. So select this one, select any application. Configure the attributes. Select the entitlement and give some random number. Select the attribute, select the entitlement. Yeah. So select the entitlement now. Add the weight. So give some random weight. I'm just giving something like this. And select another attribute. Add it. Some number I'm just giving it. Save it. Let's select one more application. Add it. Configure the attributes. Select an attribute. Select the entitlement. Add the weight. So some random values I'm just giving it with this also. Save it. Okay, so here also if you want to give some weight, you can just give it like this, and all these values will be given to you by your client only. You will be just filling the data. It's like one-time configuration. Once you have made it, the data will be getting created, like the numbers will be getting calculated. So I'm just saving this configuration for these 2 applications only. And remember, all the identities risk scores won't be modified. Only the identities which are involved in our configuration, only those risk scores will be updated. For other identities, it will be still remained as 0 only. Remember. So policy baseline access risk, policy violation baseline access risk. It will show us the policies that we have created. So we created 2 policies, right? Only those will be visible here. Okay. So save it. Done. Next is a composite scoring. So here you have these 4 categories. So for roles, we don't have any roles, right? You can just pull it to 0%. And let's make the certification aids to some 50% like that. Okay. And entitlement also, I'm just giving some random percentage. So I'm just saving it for now. So this is my configuration. Your configuration may be varying again. Okay. So save it entirely, and our configuration is being saved now. Okay, this is our identity risk score configurations. Coming to the application risk score. So go to the applications and application risk. And you have seen, right, there is no place where we can write the rule, just the numbers that we need to give it. So here component scores, you can just give some numbers over here. For now, I'm not giving any sensitivity. I'm just leaving it with the default values only. And going to the composite score, here I'm just giving some numbers like this. Some numbers I'm just giving it here. Save it. Okay. So based upon our configurations, I just saved it. And now what we need to do, immediately the identities won't be applied with that risk scores. You can see all the risk scores are 0 as of now. So when these risk scores will be added to the identities when we run a task. So go to setup and task. Select the task. For example, for identities, we have like refresh risk scores. This is all. Right click and execute in background. Next for application, refresh application scores. Right click and execute in background. Done. Now go ahead to the task. Sorry, not the task. Go to the identities. Here you can just check it out. Both the tasks got executed. You can open the identity warehouse. See the risk scores for some identities is being modified. You can see here. If you want to check all these at one place, you can go to intelligence, identity risk scores. And see the low risk profiles around 189 are under the low risk profiles. Medium risk profile, we have around 44 identities. And coming to the high risk profiles, we have 2 identities. Okay, so this is how, based upon the color coding, that the data is being segregated. Now, if you want to check for the applications also, you can just click on application scores. So this composite score only will be the final risk score allocated to that user. See, we have given the maximum numbers right in the configuration. Hence, all the applications went into a complete high risk profiles. So these are 1000. You can see it's a complete final range of certification. You can, sorry, risk score that you can understand. So this is a small configuration of risk scoring, guys.